Hi everybody. So I've been asked by several of you to show you how I make my faces, and so I'm going to do that today real quick here. I am self-taught, so I don't claim that this is the right way to do anything. This is just how I do it. This is a Stabilo all pencil, and the point is trying to come out. But basically I just start with a round face. I'll draw a little neck here and her shoulders coming down loosely. Well, I'm usually working on some sort of a vintage paper, book page, whatever. So I'm gonna take some gesso. I happen to like this Folk Art brand gesso. It's nice and thick, and it's not very expensive. So I'll just go in to where the face is gonna be, put down some gesso, just so that that writing is kind of faded into the background a little bit. And it's not so hard to pick out the features then. And do this. It's not precise, it doesn't need to be. Nothing I do is precise, I can tell you that much. So then I just wait for that to dry. Usually I'm in Arizona and usually gesso dries super fast, but it is stinking chilly here today. So the things I like to use, and these are not necessary, but I love the Derwent Inktense pencils. They're like, you put them on as a pencil and then you get them wet and then they turn into a permanent ink, which I just think is magical. I also like Dina Wakley's scribble sticks, and then I use Koi watercolors quite a bit. And I'll just use whatever I have on hand. There's times I use acrylic ink paint too. I have a couple of water pens that I like to work with. This is a Arteza one that I got from Amazon, and this is I don't know how you pronounce that, Bray Reese, that I got from Nina Fickett Designs on Etsy. She has a Facebook page that has a link, and I love that one because it's really fine and the details are great for detail work. So all right, it's pretty dry at this point. So when I'm doing the face, you can use the Stabilo all. I'm gonna use the Bark Inktense pencil. I love that. I go about halfway down and I just make, you know, kind of like a half moon for the eyes. And then somewhere around the middle, I'm just gonna do this for the pupils. And I leave some white in there. And then almost right in between and not very far down, I'm gonna do this type of a half moon for the nose. And then I just do a line for the mouth, which, you know, she kind of looks like a frog at the moment, but it's gonna be okay. I'm gonna go back into the pupils with some Stabilo all because that is black and that's what I want, and this point is really being annoying. I should switch, but I'm not going to. And then now I've got all that down. It's really just about playing, and this is the part that's kind of hard for me to explain, but you know what, this is empty, so that was really not good planning on my part. We'll fix that real quick. I'm sorry for that, but I happen to have a little bottle of water right here, so I'll just put some of that in there. It's all good. Like I said, I didn't plan any of this. I'm just rolling with it. Squeeze that and get a little bit of, make sure it gets wet. So then I just go in to the eyes here. You can see that as I wet that, it turns into kind of watercolor, and I'll use this color that I pick up to just lightly put in some eyebrows. And I'm gonna get her little nose outline and her mouth, and then I go in and do the eyes, the pupils or whatever. And so I'm just getting the general outline at this point, just getting an idea of where things are, and then go around the head shape and make sure that that stabilo all gets blended in. There we go. So that's the first layer. And then let's see, so I'm gonna go in and I'm just kind of defining where the eyes are, and then so where the cheeks are, I'm gonna use this. I really like the Dina Wakley Scribble Stick pink for putting in the pink cheeks. I just think it has a nice soft look to it. And then a little pink right on her nose. And then I just take and clean my brush by going around the edges and adding in some color there. It all blends in eventually. I'm gonna take a little bit of blue watercolor and go in around the edges. This just kind of gives some shadowing, and I'm just adding layers and playing. That's what I do. So for the lips, you don't want to go all the way out to the edge. We're just starting to put in some color and adding dimension there. So you can kind of see she's already starting to come to life. So just keep adding around here. And like I say, this is yellow. I know that this is not the right way to do it, right? I mean, this is just my way. There's so many tutorials out there. Find one that works for you, or just keep playing. That's really what I've done, is like I started somewhere and then I just kept playing. And now I'm at a place where I like my faces, and I like seeing how they're different every time I make them, even though I use the same recipe, so to speak. It's just fun. So anyway, that's that. And then I'm gonna mix up. I like to take some, I don't even know what all these colors are. This is yellow ochre, a little, I don't know, like a peach color, and then some white. And I mix them on my tray. I don't even know if you can see that. There you go. And then I like to get it watery, pretty watery. And just go in and add the smallest amount of color to her skin. I like her to be pretty washed out. I don't do realistic. So see how that just adds a little skin tone? So that's that. And then I'm gonna make this look like a little dress by making a collar and some sleeves, just like that. And I'm just gonna go over that with the water brush. You know, it's funny, I said it's cold here today, but I'm sure it's not as cold as where other people are. My mom said it was 20 below zero at her house today. Yeah, it was 27 here last night, which for us is stinking cold. but I know that's not really the case at other places. That's not considered cold. So there's that. You can see she's pretty much put together there. So now I'm going to take you can use any color for hair, but I'm going to take bark. I don't do realistic hair. I just go in and kind of give the idea of hair. So, you know, it's going to come down on her forehead and around her face. And then I like to mix in some Stabilo All on that. Oh, this point. I really need to just resharpen that. I can hear my husband coming in the door. He's not going to know that I'm taping, so there's a good chance he's going to talk to me. But maybe not. Okay. So you can see I'm just going over this with the water brush. And I ended up not using this one very much because this is a little bit bigger of a painting, so I didn't need the fine detail work. So, did that. This one is charcoal gray. It's really kind of just a soft black. It's not really gray. I'm not giving my little girl gray hair. And I just go in and add a few layers of this, you know, because hair is kind of layered, right? So it gives that depth. Okay. So that's really about it. It's just about going in, playing, and doing whatever seems right. Hopefully that kind of gives you an idea of how I make my faces. I'll probably go in and add, once this is dry, I don't want to overwork it because it feels pretty wet and this paper's a little bit fragile. So I'll probably go in and add a couple more layers to the hair and darken some stuff up a little bit, but that is the basic concept, so I hope that helps.